I'm caught up in the game. My attention is on every play and every whistle. But what I'm missing is a signal coming from my kidneys. That signal isn't like a ref's whistle. It's more of a silent SOS, which could be warning me of an increased risk for events like heart attack or stroke. And a way I can catch that signal? A simple urine test called UACR. If you have type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure, talk to your doctor about the UACR test. Detect the SOS. Visit detectthesos.com to learn more.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
This is like a bonus, I'm going to say, because we're just going to talk about how Tiffany Reese reached out to Javier to say what I didn't realize when Javier gave me a heads up that he's going to take our episode down was that Tiffany was telling him that we and our listeners have been harassing her and her subjects.
Yeah.
Like essentially victims that she interviews.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, no shit. Javier was taking it seriously, but it's like, I don't think our listeners would do that, A, I don't know what they're doing. B, I didn't harass Tiffany.
No. Well, Tiffany's definition is go to C, and then I'll talk. Yeah.
Another listener told me that her comments are off on her Instagram anyway. So
yeah,
that seems to be, I think that's been true for a long time because of backlash that she got, which I don't know if you can classify as harassment, but it didn't come from us and it didn't come from our listeners.
Look, if we or our listeners or anybody related to our podcast had been harassing her this entire time and she just went to Javier and is like, I've had it. I want you to take your episode with online bullshit down. Wouldn't we have heard about it from her way before that? Like, we would have been getting cease and desist every week. She would have been like being like, I hate you, or whatever. She would have been like responding to whatever harassment, like within a second of her reading whatever the fuck she read,
like,
or thinks she read.
Receipts, right?
Yeah,
there would be receipts.
So of course she's like lying to Javier, and Javier, being like a trustworthy person himself, believes her and does like what he thinks is the right thing at the time. Right. So, the whole thing, I don't care about her.
Here's what I think happened if you haven't paid attention.
I haven't.
We made, it's for Nathan. We made an episode about Something Was Wrong like 2 years ago. It had been requested and I tried to dive into that podcast.
It was been one of our most popular and talked about episodes.
Yeah,
if you
had
will,
no
for
idea at the time that it was going to become that. I just thought, oh, I really don't like this podcast. Oh, I see some chatter online about some problems.
Yeah.
Which we're going to move on to. And we did the episode, and then I think we found out pretty quickly that she was mad, and so we did another episode. And then
she sent us a cease and desist from some fucking like company that specialized cybersecurity, quote unquote, that was calling itself a law firm but also a cybersecurity firm. And I was like, this is bullshit. This is like a business that exists to harass people.
Yeah.
For online content.
Irony.
Yeah.
Anyways, so then we went on to 2 episodes on Patreon where we criticized Javier and the Pretend podcast. And we put them on Patreon because we were legitimately afraid of LaDonna because...
Yeah, because she's a crazy bitch, quite frankly.
That story was fascinating, and I tried to do research so that we could add something to the story, and then in the process we would listen to Javier and Nathan would go, I hate this guy. And good old Javier listened and thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I think I was talking to another one of our listeners about this recently, about how he just got a kick out of it because he was also like, so you made fun of me and you did research? Like, he's like trying to wrap his head around it. I was like, yeah, I fucking read LaDonna's book.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God. And you know what? I will say this. I didn't just make fun of him willy-nilly. I think I said some cogent stuff about the content that he could improve upon, in my opinion.
In your opinion.
In my opinion. I didn't say like Javier kills horses for fun.
Well,
it was not defamatory.
He's a good sport. And, you know,
Absolutely.
I think
He's a charming man.
And any content creator online gets criticism.
Of course.
Whether it's warranted or not. You know what I mean? And so then he invited us on to do a bonus episode where I name-checked Tiffany, I think. And I said, you know, you guys both covered the same topic at one point, which was this woman who kept pretending to be pregnant because she wanted to scam these doulas. It was crazy. Like, she would be like, I'm going into labor. You need to take me to the hospital. But then they would get to the hospital and she wouldn't get out of the car.
Was it like a Munchausen's thing?
Totally.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. She just wanted the attention from the doulas.
Yeah. And she would
up.
like keep them awake at night. Like they lost sleep. Like it's one of those things where, you know, she was torturing them. But they didn't know that
fun.
At the time.
For fucking fun, it seems. Yeah, wow.
And so in Javier's series about it, he gets to the point and he tells the story.
Good.
And so I made a comment that he was much better at telling that story than she was. And she heard it, and that's why I think she reached out to him to say, you have no idea how fucked up online bullshit is. And so Javier was like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then he admits, you know, he didn't look into it. He didn't look to see what our criticism was or if we or our listeners have harassed people. I mean, I don't know
honestly,
how.
Who has time? It's easier, like, honestly,
No,
I get it. It's easier just to take the episode down and be like, stop bothering me, lady.
Right,
you know?
right.
Whether or not
she's
correct or not.
That's what he did. He gave me a heads up, which was kind.
Oh,
and
nice.
then, so some of our listeners got mad. I want to say, I felt so good about, like, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for getting angry on
for
our
defending
behalf.
us. Well, so I was reminded by some Redditors that did listen to that show until they got kind of fed up. And I'm going to go back to this post on Reddit that I sent you earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
So in season 9, I'm just going to give you a little synopsis.
Okay.
There's a woman named Danielle. I believe that is not her real name, but she is the one telling the story to Tiffany on the podcast. And she had dated this man who called himself Artie and had a British accent. I believe he's also the one who was like in medical school, but also working as a nurse.
Oh, I remember you told me about this one where it's just like he was doing way too much to be real. Yeah.
We talked about that with Dr. Laura too. And
yes.
So I think he's just a real good love bomber because like Danielle fell for him really quickly. And then once they got together, she started to see that he was lying about some things and he would be abusive too. So she comes on Something Was Wrong to tell the story. The story goes on to Artie dating a new woman named Darcy. Darcy is still married to Kenji. And so when they put these like puzzle pieces together, then Danielle and Kenji are in communication about how fucked up Artie is. Okay?
Okay. Wait a second. I need you to clarify something for me.
I know. There's 2 Ds.
Okay. No. It's Darcy is with Kenji, but Darcy is with Artie? And Kenji and Danielle are communicating.
Yeah, Darcy is essentially cheating on Kenji. Kenji comes on the podcast and tells his side of the story. And yeah, it makes you mad at Darcy because they're just married. And she's
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'm going to go out tonight. And he's like, what? Where? And she's like, I just met this guy and I'm going to like go out with him. And then she would spend the night at his house. And he was like, we're married with kids. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, I think this Artie guy is a gifted scammer. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. What? Okay. I gotta say something about Darcy, though. Like, do we get into what's going on in her head? Because it seems weird to be like, all of a sudden, I'm gonna fuck this other guy.
Because she won't participate in the
Okay.
podcast.
All
Because
right.
now, as time has gone on,
Mhm.
Darcy is with Artie. She's divorced from Kenji. And then Artie starts being abusive to Darcy. So Danielle and Tiffany and Kenji have
Mhm.
kind of created this villain in Darcy.
Okay.
But Darcy is also being abused.
Got it. Okay.
So this post on Reddit,
Yeah.
that's about... God,
Is that
why
the
do
one you
I-
sent me?
This
I-
isn't it.
No, I thought it was how does Danielle and TR sleep at night?
Thank you for calling me out.
You're welcome, you dumb bitch.
So I'll tell you like what was fucked up about this. They do this podcast follow-up that's called What Comes Next.
Okay.
And I listened to it.
All right.
So Danielle, yeah, she is a little bit happy that things are falling apart for Darcy. And there's this really mean voicemail from Artie. Okay. Artie had called Darcy and left this voicemail where he's cursing her out and saying, like, I'll take you to court and, like, fuck you and blah, blah, blah. So Darcy got the voicemail. She sent it to Kenji. Kenji sent it to Danielle. And Danielle sent it to Tiffany. So then they play it on the podcast. Darcy is the one being targeted, and they're just willy-nilly playing this abusive guy's voicemail.
Yeah.
Like putting Darcy in danger, if you ask me. And I
Yeah.
think that's what they're saying here on this post.
Mm-hmm. And
Because,
yeah.
like it says down in the pinned comment.
Yeah.
Okay, so since originally airing in 2021, it was uncovered that the narrative of the episodes in season 9 are not entirely truthful. Darcy is portrayed in a specific way when in reality they are also a victim of the perpetrator, Artie. The following is a summary for your information. The original episodes allowed for the real identities. Yes, people did find who these were, non-consenting parties to be found and subsequently harassed by Tiffany's listeners.
Okay.
Darcy is a non-consenting party who has expressed she is re-victimized each time these episodes are discussed. With the way this season is recounted, Darcy is painted in a light where she is a complicit and willing participant or perpetrator of Artie's abuse.
Abuse to her.
Artie's
To Darcy
abuse
herself.
to Danielle.
To Danielle. Okay. All right.
Or Kenji, probably both.
Okay.
In April 2023, Tiffany Reese and Danielle made an additional episode under What Comes Next, where a voice recording of Artie is played. This is a recording sent to Darcy. It has been obtained questionably and has been shared without her consent. It's really fucked up.
It sounds really fucked up. But the thing, what I'm not understanding is like, what is the dynamic between these like 4 people that Darcy is sending here? Correct me if I'm wrong. Darcy is sending one of her Artie, her current husband at this point. So she gave this recording of Artie to Kenji, her ex-husband, who gave it to Danielle and who gave it to Tiffany.
Yeah.
Why is anything being passed from Darcy to Kenji, her ex-husband? Like, what is going on here?
Because now that Artie has become, she sees through him and he's shitty and abusive.
Yeah.
She's leaning on Kenji again.
Kenji, who is betraying her to these 2 women who have framed her in a very unflattering light.
Because he's pissed at her for cheating on him.
And yet he's pretending to be a support to her, obviously, if she sent him this voicemail.
It seems like it.
This is fucked up. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get it straight because it's a really like strained situation in terms of
Yeah.
like relationships. So yeah.
Yeah, when I
mean, the fact that,
listened to
yeah.
it,
Uh-huh.
let's not play the whole thing.
Okay.
But, so this is Danielle speaking.
Okay.
We were going through the paperwork for that. So we were waiting on seeing about this filing. Then in September of 2021, I was actually in Palm Springs for a girls' retreat with some friends. It's a Saturday, and forwards me a recording.
Please note that the following content includes Artie's voice and may be disturbing to the listener.
At the end of the day, like I said, even if we end up going fucking splitting 50-50 custody at the end of the day in fucking court, trust me, you're still gonna end up having to decide which kids you're gonna end up with. I'm gonna make it so fucking miserable of a situation that your ex is gonna take you for full custody. I am warning you. I have nothing but dedicated fucking time in making your life, his life, and Danielle's life a fucking miserable piece of shit. And believe
I'm disturbed. No, it is actually disturbing. He sounds like a real piece of work.
Well, so I was listening to this and I was like, wow, I was trying to follow who's who and where did it come from and how'd they get it. And then she says, so-and-so forwarded this to me and they bleep the name because the name is Kenji.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, here's what I think. What I heard, Artie is going to frame Darcy. I'm assuming Darcy has full custody, right? Of these kids. I'm
assuming, yeah.
She has now like transferred to her household with Artie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Artie's an abusive fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so because I see from one of these messages by Reasonable Links, being a victim does not exonerate Darcy from the very harmful and continued abuse towards children and other victims. I'm assuming that's Artie abusing Darcy's kids. So Artie is going to say that Darcy put her kids in a dangerous situation with him so that Kenji gets full custody.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Okay. Woo! This is messy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next comment, this would be such a different issue if Tiffany wasn't so extreme in any questioning of her chosen victims.
This isn't all of Artie's victim stories. I think one of the things that really annoyed me was how many comments you got, Tiffany, about Darcy. The negativity that you got in terms of the accusations that Darcy was a victim and you didn't interview her, that this was unfair to Darcy. I want to address that because people don't realize that 6 months within me finding everything out, this was live and unfolding as we were speaking. I want to say on record that Tiffany did ask Kenji and I if you should reach out to Darcy, and we both emphatically told you no. And part of that was that, again, this is barely 6 months after, there were things still happening. Ultimately, what we knew at that time was that Darcy was taking any little bit of information she could figure out from Kenji or me, and she was feeding it back to Artie. I wanted to get the message out, but I also had to keep me and my daughter safe and Kenji. She was still actively speaking with him, probably dating him.
I just want to say thank you so much, Danielle, for saying that. I'm literally sitting here tearing up. When the survivors have had my back in these kinds of situations, it really means a lot that you would put that out there. My ethics and how I treat people is the most important thing to me in this work. So when that was criticized, that felt like a different level of pain for me. The thing is, this involves Kenji's children, whom Kenji does anything and everything for. Danielle, I think you'll agree, to do the best by his children and has fought so hard to keep them safe. This person, while they were a victim, they can also be a cheater and a liar and put their kids through absolute hell and not protect them from someone that they know bites over and over and over again. When you turn that corner, you're now part of the problem.
I agree. I think she's both a victim and an abuser, but despite the fact that she was a victim, she was actively feeding him information, actively working with Artie. My goal, as well as Kenji, was the safety of our children. We could not have any information being released prior to the podcast coming out. I was hoping he would never find out, to be quite honest, but somehow that didn't happen.
Because that's the thing. She decides who the victim is, and then she decides the other people are the like villains.
Well,
you
no, I
know?
mean, she suffers from black and white thinking, and she doesn't have any empathy towards anybody that she, and I remember this in the very first episode, because she seems, and I said it at the time, she seems to be working out her own trauma through
Yes.
these stories, but
I
that
know.
does not mean that she actually has any empathy for these people. They seem to be just tools for her to express her own rage to her victimizer that she now can't express. I'm not a psychologist. This is just speculation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
So that's what I want to say. A lot of people online still remember things that went down in her Facebook group where like the moderator was getting doxxed, all because she was mad about criticism. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
cool, be mad about criticism. Keep it to yourself.
Well, I mean, you can be mad about criticism, and also you can even express to the criticizers that you're mad at them for their criticism. But you don't dox people. You don't play these like voicemails from an obvious like a psychopathically abusive man, it seems, that puts this other abuse victim in danger.
Yeah.
Who, you know, granted, yes, she did some bad things to both her ex-husband and her kids. But you know what? Can't we like have some empathy for the fact that she was also like lured in by a man who was obviously like a very conscious abuser?
That's what it seems like to me, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's
okay,
like,
she did
well-
shitty things. We can hold her to account for that. But that doesn't mean like now she's, you know, pure evil and deserves everything that happens to her. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And both of these women fell for this man. I mean, he's doing something, you
Yeah.
know?
You think Danielle would have like a little bit more sympathy?
That's what I would think, but
Yeah.
it's very strange.
Yeah. And I'm sure Danielle, I don't know. I'm not sure. But Danielle may be sort of being egged on by Tiffany because we know what Tiffany's personality is. We know that now.
Yeah.
And it would not surprise me if Tiffany was feeding Danielle, you know, fueling the fire, shall we say.
Yeah, me too.
Mm.
As you said, her own trauma, blah, blah, blah.
But she doesn't care about anybody else's as much as she said she does.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is also just to say we're not mad at Javier. You don't have to like stop listening to him.
No, Javier's great.
I've just seen some of our listeners say that, and I'm like, that's not what's going on here. So
Yeah.
hopefully we
I
can
mean, I would encourage you to listen to him, listeners, because he's a good journalist.
a real journalist.
Real journalists are so fucking thin on the ground nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, we need to support good work wherever we see it.
Also, he's got another situation with another person on his podcast where she's being really unreasonable and like suing him. And it's really stupid. And so he is trying to fight stuff in court, and I think therefore trying to get a lot of episodes out so he can generate some income. And I get it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't ever have to go to court, but
that's what media insurance is for.
Oh, who has that?
I don't know. I've heard of it thrown around as a thing that you can get if you're like,
Interesting.
if there's like a lawsuit thrown at you.
Interesting,
where it's like-
because
Yeah.
when I was working on the John Bonet show and then subsequently other true crime shows, they were just like so worried about getting sued and then so mad when they did get sued, even though the lawsuit that got brought, which was not on my show, was questionable. Like,
Well,
if I were a
that's-
lawyer, I wouldn't have brought it. But
Well, that's the thing. Most of these lawsuits are questionable. They're just like spurious litigation to shut people up and have them like the ultimate goal is to have them take the episode down, I am sure. And the
Yeah.
annoying thing for these networks
or
is
to get
it's like,
paid.
or to
money.
get paid. It costs them money just to like respond to this.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have like a team of lawyers that they're paying probably millions of dollars a year. This is just more money for them. And so, and even just to like go through the process of like answering and then having a motion to dismiss the case, it's like, that's expensive. It's expensive and it's fucking time consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I have to say.
All right. Well, sounds good.
All right.
And Tiffany, if you're listening, hi. I want to say more, but that would just be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scrolling through my feed, all I see is bullshit, fake news, clickbait. Gotta sift through all of it. I share, retweet, trying to keep up with the trends, but it's all just a facade, man. It's all pretend.